Yeah, I feel like we always show fight. I think the problem is we turn off the energy and turn it back on when we feel like it. And we've been trying to figure out how to do that for 40 minutes straight. And if not 40, at least 35 or 32. So still yet learning and still yet growing as a team. But just got to stay in the fight. Wake up tomorrow and get ready for the next day and prepare.
When that energy goes off and on, is that simply a fatigue thing?
No, it's a lack of experience thing, lack of maturity thing. Um, we've already told you our story at the beginning, so I don't have to tell you that. But lack of maturity and experience and toughness. You know, you got to be tough and you got to have experience to sustain your energy, your confidence, and all that in the game. And we showed tonight that we can turn it off and we can turn it right back on, get back in the game. And we just didn't get the outcome that we wanted and showing everybody that. So, got to stay consistent.
You guys, obviously full court pressure on the bottom of that 15-0 run. Did you do anything else, or was it just kind of getting in, making chaos a little bit?
Yeah, we just sped them up and made chaos. And we were both in the bonus around that time. So whether we got a steal, whether we made a shot, or whether we got fouled, we had an opportunity to put the ball back in the hole and score a point. So we were just trying to remain aggressive when we had the ball on offense. I think Effie got to the line a couple times. Sam got to the line a couple times. I got to the line once. And like you said, yeah, just really making chaos. And they folded a little bit, but they finished. So
When you had to respond to Wichita State's run, there was a timeout. What was the conversation like in that group in terms of chipping away or not trying to take it all back in one too quickly? And what did you guys talk about in that time?
yeah, I was trying to remember the timeouts so that I could be particular with you or specific. And I know the timeout when we went up 65-67 after the layup, turnover on the baseline. I know that we went back and it was like a minute 44 on the clock. And we just were saying be solid. We both were in the bonus, so we didn't want to foul. We didn't want to put anybody on the line. And we just wanted to defend. And then we had put in an offense to run out some clock. So we were prepared to do that, but we went on the other end a little later. And I fouled on the three, so some inexperience by myself as well.
Did you think that was a foul? I mean, did you think that you got
On me?
foul? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I touched his elbow. In the heat of the moment, you're a competitor. Everybody look at the ref like, why'd you call that? But I did get his elbow. And I'll argue that call on the floor all day. But I can stand right here and say that I touched him on the elbow.
Given the success you guys had with the press in that late run that you went on, do you feel like you guys should use the press more going forward to try to get early runs?
We're going to go back to the drawing board and see what Coach Lanier got for the team. The way he coaches and the way that he instills confidence and the way he communicates to us is very effective. And he'll make that decision for sure about pressing or being all over the ball. So we just got to come in tomorrow and be prepared to get better.
That three-point look, the last one, in and out. I mean, did you think it was going in? It looked like it was close.
Yeah, I thought it was. Not really harping on it too much. I saw it go in and out, and I probably couldn't ask for anything else. So, but for it to go in. So, I'm just prepared to keep trying to get better. At this time of the year, late January, heading into February, the cream rises to the top. And the cream doesn't have to do with records, but with how hard you play and how consistent you stay in this time of the year. So, I'm focused on making sure the guys and myself come in tomorrow ready to get better and looking forward to the next opponent instead of just harping on what just happened here today.
The start was slow. You fell behind 11-1, and then something switched. You went on a pretty big run, and you end up going to the locker room with a halftime lead of 4 or 5.
Yeah.
What switched in the middle of the first half, or was it simply shots started falling?
Not shots started falling. I think our first 12 possessions of the game, we had about 6 or 7 turnovers. So when you don't get a shot on the goal at all, it's probably easier for the other teams to run out to score. And we got down 1-11. So it was just us being careless with the ball. It wasn't such as getting a good shot or anything. It was just playing too fast or some guys being too sped up, including myself. So, like I said, we turn the switch off and we turn it on. and we show a bundle of energy, and then we look like we just dead flat. So, we just got to learn how to keep it at a high pace and keep the momentum high for the team. And guys are still learning. So, as long as we take heed of the opportunity that we had today, we'll be fine.
You mentioned coming in and getting ready for the next one, and if I'm not mistaken, you're going to see a familiar face on Thursday. Memphis? What's it going to be like playing against your old teammate?
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Memphis has a nice fan base. Other than the fan base, Kendrick will be out there. But on both sides is real competitive guys. Real competitive guys. So the opportunities of a lifetime. I've been on them since I was 15, 16 years old. We played AAU together. So I played him at Sam Houston while he was at SMU. But to be in the same conference in the battle right now, it means a lot. But other than the KD and the Memphis and the SMU thing, I don't think it's a thing at all as far as him leaving or us, being here without him. This is another American basketball game that, we trying to go out and win. And we got to prepare for that.
Right. Obviously, hard-fought game with a disappointing ending there. A lot of credit to the guys. We got into a spell there where we were being outplayed and we weren't playing with confidence offensively, and they went on a 15-0 run there, and we countered with a great response down the stretch, took the lead, and needed to stop. Tough play. We fouled a jump shooter, and that proved to be the difference in the game. And you never wanted to come down to that one play. So collectively proud of these guys, the effort that they gave to put themselves in a position to win a game where, we were playing in a really hard-fought game against a tough team and not able to close it out. Just a disappointing outcome. Credit to those guys. They made enough plays. Credit to that kid for making all three of those free throws, too. It was a big play.
What changed or what adjustments were made to answer their 15-0 run with a 15-0 run of your own?
Our pressure affected them. We got some good traps, and we've practiced it sparingly, but they executed with the appropriate level of urgency because we were down by 13. So urgency was critical, and they answered that call and created some momentum and got them on their heels. And like I said, got the lead and had a chance to, just a stop, just a rebound, just a couple of plays from securing a victory.
Do you think the ability to respond like you did, they go on a 15-0 run, you go on a 15-0 run, is just kind of another notch in the experience built this year about, hey, we can respond when things are pretty kind of adverse against us?
Yeah, I think that's becoming a part of our character, that we've got some resilience and some toughness that'll serve us well as we continue to grow. But it won't feel like a good experience tonight, But it will serve us at some point. All of these experiences will. But what would have served us better is to close it out after coming back like that. That would have been something that would have really helped this particular group. So it's one of those things that I really hate for them, that we couldn't close it out. I didn't hear Zach's comments in here, but he's a young man that I'm sure he sat here and took ownership, and it's never about one play like that. I just think we got to make better decisions with the basketball down the stretch. We're down by 2. We don't need a 3. We had 2 guys force up threes, and we didn't have timeouts. So, but that, to your point, experience, those things, they'll be teachable, but disappointing for the guys.
Zurich didn't have a great shooting night, and it looked like he spent a lot of the time getting up off the floor. Is he banged up more than usual or slowed by any kind of nagging injury still?
I don't think so. I think, I do think sometimes Zurich has what makes him good is his aggressive nature. And he's got an aggressive nature, and then part of his learning curve is being able to pick them spots and know when you draw a crowd, how you can really energize the rest of the group by seeing the floor, and he's getting better at that, and he will. But there's a thing when a guy wants to, capture the moment. Sometimes there's some value in that, and then finding that balance and trusting your teammates is part of his growth. But I think he was on the floor because he was in a crowd. But I think he's okay.
7 minutes to get your first field goal today. Obviously, some turnovers and substitution there. Was there any other kind of common denominator for why it was so hard to get offense going?
They're a good defensive team. really good defensive team, hard to simulate in practice. I was fine. I thought we would settle in at some point and figure out within their scheme how we could best attack them. I didn't feel like we got enough post touches in the game, so they did a good job of preventing us from getting the kind of touches so that we could play inside out there. But we did settle in eventually, and then up until the point where they made the 15-0 run, it was kind of par for the course. They're one of the top defensive teams in the league, one of the top in the country. So we knew it would come with a little bit of a grind, but we found a way to stay connected. And again, we've talked about the way the game closed out.
You mentioned that you practiced your press sparingly, I think you said, but you were pleased with the execution. Given the way it got you back into the game with that late run, is that something you'd like to start using more of going forward?
Well, I don't want to be down 13 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left more often. And so it served a purpose. Then people see a steady diet of it. We're not wired to be a 40 minutes of hell. We're not wired that way. It was a situational thing that we handled that situation the appropriate way, I think.
It was really fighting today. It kind of seemed like, I guess, just kind of what did he bring to the table today with his ability to really kind of manage the boards and really go against that?
Yeah, I didn't realize till late in the game that he had a double-double because I just didn't like the fact that he wasn't touching it in the post very much. And a couple of times that he did catch it, they came with a quick double team, and he got it out of his hands really quickly. So the fact that he was able to put together 16 points and 11 boards just in the flow of the game speaks to the level of fight that he brought to the game. He's been consistent in that regard. He was a little emotional, got a technical foul, and that was a byproduct of, all right, he's not touching it that much, and he's not in a rhythm, and so, but once we got through that, he was terrific.
The guys you inherited from last year's team are going to see a familiar face Thursday in Memphis with Kendrick Davis. Is that something that you'll even address with them, playing one of their old teammates and old friend, or does that not even come up as you prepare for Memphis?
Not from me, no. I mean, these guys know each other. They know the league. They follow ball. Like that. That's not something that from a scouting standpoint, we have to talk about what we're up against with all of their personnel, including him. He's a terrific player. So there's no secrets about that. And these guys will know it. But, we're in no position to get caught up in that type of stuff right now. We just got to get better and continue to fight and try to find ways to stay connected so that we can give ourselves the best possibility of winning games we play.
Coach, you never want to learn from losses. You'd rather learn from wins to feel better. Is there anything you take away from this one that you feel really good about? I guess how did the team continue to fight when they were down and put themselves in a position to win? Is there some victory in kind of like the learning lesson of it?
There's definitely something to be learned and taught from that, what happened in the game there, and then just the continuous growth as a team, the decisions we make with the basketball, and the connectedness inside of the group. Sometimes when a guy makes a play that another guy doesn't like, and some of that stuff, and we've been really good all year in terms of being resilient and bouncing back from disappointment. But this is as disappointing as we've been all year because it was the first time, not the first time, similar scenario, more time in the game against Iona. We're down 12. And the same thing, we press, it has an effect. We make a run back, take the lead, and we close the game out. Similar situation. And then once we got into that situation, without a timeout, we were a little bit frazzled offensively, and there was a little bit of I wouldn't say panic, but guys not knowing that, oh, we don't need a three. We're shooting 2 free throws on everything. It's only a 2-point game, and so just from a decision-making standpoint, technically there's something to be learned too, how we handle the actual situation that we were in.
Yeah, a couple guys, a couple things that stand out. Todorovich taking a charge was a monster play.
Yeah.
The whole bench stood up. Guys on the floor yelling. He's not known as a defensive player. To me, that was a culture type of play. the growth inside the program, and then the number of assists that you guys have averaged at home is 20 coming in. I think you were around 16 or so today. What does that say about the connectedness of your vision and the staff's vision of the buy-in from the city?
Well, I would say, first of all, Steph is really getting better defensively. But his willingness to, we talk about putting your body in a play. And he's been reluctant to do that. And so him doing that today was really, it was neat to see the reaction of the guys. It was like a real team thing. And I was proud of him, and he was proud of himself, and his teammates were happy for him. And it really energized us, and it helped contribute to the run that we ended up making, just that energy. So really, really proud of him. He's continuing to improve. He had another double-figure game tonight. And, happy to see that area of growth.